Welcome to a new episode. Big surprise. Me and Mom are sitting together and we are having a very nice guest today. It's a big surprise because this guest has done the training, the hypnotherapy training in 2019, I think. I'm not 100% sure, but okay, I see her nodding. You cannot see her yet, but you'll see her soon. And she is actually a family member. Her name is Carla Hijzen-Oostrom. And so today the podcast, in fact, has an entire different name. It's now HypnoAunt and Carla. Hi, Carla. Welcome. Oh, before you say anything, I just want to say Carla has her own practice. She started right away after the training, and her practice name is Ontspan hypnotherapy, which means relax hypnotherapy. And it's based in Zaltbommel, which is kind of centrally located in the Netherlands. So, Carla, we're super happy to have you. How are you feeling today?
Great, thank you.
It's really good to have you here. So we're going to ask questions to you about, how it was for you to build your own practice. And I'm super curious about your first client because I remember mine vividly. So I'm really curious how it was for you. Mom, you're also here.
Yes, I will be on the sideline a bit, but the idea is that it will be informative and have a lot of fun at the same time.
Yes. And it's nice now everybody, well, for the people who are watching it, because you can watch and listen, you can now see if we are really looking alike or not. What do you think, Carla?
Yes.
Do you see similarity?
You really do.
Well, actually, sometimes there are people who don't see it.
Oh, okay. But I must say, I used the video of Ina, and people say, "Oh, you look alike your aunt."
Seriously? Okay. Well, that's good. Well, I'm looking now at your noses. There is a similarity, but yeah. To speak about the family relationship, because Carla is like, my mom is your aunt. You are my cousin. We are cousins, but the bloodline is not through my mom or your mom, but it's through our fathers. Right? So our fathers are brothers. And interestingly enough, I don't think that I got into hypnosis because of my dad.
Okay, that's surprising to me.
No, like in the sense that I obviously got it from my mom. Like my father is very rational, Well, he can also be very emotional. I hope it's fine that I tell about my father, but I don't know if it's the case with you. If you think like you're in, who has been a bigger influence, your mom or your dad, in you taking the steps into hypnosis?
Well, my mom is there anymore, but I don't think I would get involved with hypnosis through my dad. No, he finds it interesting and he's really curious. Yeah. But he also thinks, no, it's not for me.
Yeah. Yeah, but I guess what I was meaning was more like sort of the DNA part.
Yes, that's through my mom. Yes.
Yeah, that's what I figured. So, well, let's start. Like, you did the training with us, but before you did the training, you must have had the concept of hypnosis must have come into your mind. Like, we're super curious. Like, what brought you on the path of hypnosis?
I was looking for peace of mind. So after the day I was in bed and I was finding myself going through the day like, oh, I should have done that better, or I should have said or should have responded another way. And before I fall asleep, I was constantly reliving the day. And because I wanted to find some relaxation and some tools to get on with it better. And first I had sessions with psychotherapy, and then you have to talk really about yourself, about your life. And I was thinking, well, then there's nothing wrong with my life. Everything is fine. So I couldn't point out what was wrong, but I wasn't feeling all too great. And then I was starting on the internet, so not even through through aunt or family, because we've got a very big family, so it isn't like we have coffee each week with one another. So basically through the internet, and when you get involved with hypnosis and you want more information, well then
then you remember, like, oh yeah, didn't I have an aunt who did something with hypnosis?
Yeah, but also that as well. But when you go on the internet, her name comes up a lot.
Okay.
So it's both.
It's a combination.
It's a combination, yes. And I was thinking, well, should I go to a relative, or should I have my own private road to recovery and to finding out if it's really something I want to get involved with?
Yeah, that makes sense, actually. Yeah. So what made you decide in the end that you joined the training of your mom? Your aunt, sorry, my mom.
We are mixing it all together.
I had the first day, I don't know how it's called exactly, the first day when you...
Instalcursus.
Yes.
So like an introductory training of one day, and you book that, and you think, then I can have a look what that aunt is doing, and do I like the way she is teaching, or will I think, family, let's leave in the speed.
Yes, exactly. And how does it feel? Does it feel funny to be with your aunt as a teacher? And if I find out more about hypnosis, is it something for me? Because I really down to earth, really involved with people. When people talk to me, they say, "Oh, you're really businesslike." Some people even find me harsh. So it was a very different way of being, of finding out. Well, going through your mind, like, not only the facts.
Yeah,
really...
I can imagine if you're more like what you're saying, down to earth, grounded, and then hypnosis is this, like, you've heard about it probably, but probably through movies and all, and then is this going to be something for me?
Yes, exactly. All the misconceptions are also running through your head, and then you have your own introduction through internet first, and then you want to find out more. And so the introduction day got me started, really.
If you watch the internet for videos about hypnosis, there is a lot of show hypnosis, and especially the instant inductions where people really like to show off how fast they can bring somebody into hypnosis. And in practice, of course, it's valuable that we have these rapid techniques, but it scares a lot of people away, because that's not the whole story about hypnosis.
No, when they go down like a swift, people think, oh, I have no brain left. I'm like a mummy, like a zombie.
Yes.
Those misconceptions are really there. And luckily, I didn't start out with going through YouTube and watching movies, but really with the information. So what's hypnosis like? What's it about? And when you start like that, then I think if I started with those movies, with the instant rapid inductions, I would have said, okay, well, let's move on. Yes.
So do you remember what was there something in the introduction day that kind of caught your attention, or that made you make a decision that, yeah, I'm going to do this?
Yes, well, actually, that it was fairly grounded. So grounded, and the uses and the how quickly it takes with people, how rapid and how strong it actually is.
Yeah.
That was something.
Well, it's nice that you already had a lot of confidence in me at that time, because yes, that's the thing. We can tell a beautiful story, but what is the substance behind it? And you found out now through your practice, which is great, because you have beautiful stories to tell, which we will hear later about your successes with the work.
Yeah, because then you did the training, and like, because you started your own practice, right? You didn't have anything. Like, are there some challenges that you had in the way of building that practice? How did it go?
Well, because the training is fairly quick, then you have to decide, okay, what will I do? Will I keep on looking for more information, guidance, self-confidence, or should I just start? You know, the training gets you all the tools. You've got a really good toolbox. So the first of all, you have to convince yourself, hey, I can do this. The training was proper. OMNI has a good training, so you know it's proper, you know you can do this. But then you have to find the faith in yourself to really get started. And I was thinking, if I don't start now, I will never start. I can go on for trainings 10 more years, but you have to get started. You have to rely on your training. And that was the biggest fear. Okay, am I good enough? The training is good enough, but then, okay, did I pick it? Did I learn it correctly? Am I doing it correctly? And once you start and you have your clients and you see their success, because it's really the clients who have the success, then you get more confidence, and then you can pick up other tools. But really, you have to jump in the deep end and go for it. Wow. And that was really scary at me.
That's basically your advice to starters. Just don't keep on educating yourself. This is really something you need to do in practice. You have to start.
Yes, and rely on your study. So when I decided, okay, hypnosis is something for me, you do your research, you find out what kind of training do I want. And then when you have made that choice based on facts and you've made that decision and you started out, then go for it. And you know, and there's so much in the training. And really, sometimes you find out, oh, this tool, I already had it in my toolbox, but I almost forgot it. I must use it as well.
Yeah. So you keep referring back also to the material that you got.
Yes.
And then that's also my experience, because I also, like, I did the training a year before you probably, that you learn it and then you start working, and then the pieces fall together. You know, you use something that you didn't use before, and it's because of that you start doing it that it starts making sense. That was at least my experience.
Exactly. And first you have your favorite tool, and you start out always with that tool, and then suddenly you have a client and it doesn't work.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, and then
and that's also beautiful that you say, because that happens in reality as well. Like, you will then have a client and it doesn't work. Yes. And then it's good to hear that. I'm imagining that you didn't give up. Or how did you do it? I'm curious.
Well, then you remind yourself that there are lots of more tools you can use, and sometimes it's trial and error, but that's the way we learn, and that's the way the client learns. And sometimes the client needs that as well, to see, okay, in some minds it's also there that they can't be successful the first time. So
Yeah.
They have that conception, you must work with that. So it's always an interaction between you and your client. And sometimes you speak the same language, and sometimes you have to learn to speak each other's language.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah,
That's beautiful how you say that.
Yes.
Have you ever considered becoming a trainer? We're like, that's cool to hear. So now this is my the question that I'm really curious about. Like, do you remember your first session? Because I remember that I was nervous like anything. So I'm really curious how it was for you. If you'd like to share anything about it.
Well, my first session was a relief because when you train with people, family, and your friends and family aren't always that honest. So for instance, when you want to see how far they are in the induction, and then they say, oh well, she's doing such
She's working so hard.
working so hard, so okay, I'll go along with it, but it's not really true. And then the results aren't there with the family, because also the relationships get involved as well. So the first stranger, the first client, it was a relief because it was honest. It was
Yeah. Oh,
I
wow.
thought, this is nice. I'm really getting the response I need to have to get work done.
You thought this is the real stuff.
Yes. So it was really, it was really a relief, and it was quitting to smoke, and well, it worked. So it was,
Wow,
it was special, but I really felt like a relief. Yeah.
Wow, that's and it's nice that you have a first session that's successful, because it can also happen. I know people who had their first session and it was tough, and it can be, demotivating. But we always say, like, you have to remember your successes, because these negative experiences, they somehow go deeper into us than the positive ones. More easily they go into us.
Yes.
But yeah, that's really cool. But you weren't nervous before before she came?
Of course I was. And I was going through the books. Okay, am I remembering correctly? What should I have in front of me?
Yeah. What did you have in front of you?
I actually had the Dave Elman induction in front of me, so maybe I won't remember. That nervous I was.
Well, I know people who write out the entire script for their first session. So just the Dave Elman, that sounds quite like I even have the Dave Elman with me during sessions.
Okay, no. Really, the Dave Elman. I thought, but if I know something, it's Dave Elman, because that's how we start. So I should just be able to remember this. But still, I thought, no, please let it be in front of me. And now, of course, you go through your mind. Okay, what are the issues? What do I want to talk about? Yes, that's there in my mind. But I find myself, if I'm looking too much to a script or a paper, I cannot read the client. I cannot see how deep, where his mind is going. So I really need to look at the client. That works for me.
Carla, I'm very curious if you tell about your sessions. What was the most impressive session that you had? Most fun, or what comes to mind?
The most fun I have with kids, and they amaze me each time, because they are so sure of themselves. No, that works for me. They always find their own solutions, and they're so sure. The difficulty of that is the parents. I always think, oh, please, parents react
Positively.
normal. So one time I had a kid scared of dogs, and we had the session, and she had no fear left. So she walked out of the practice, and across the street there was a dog, and she wanted to go and pet the dog, and her mother responded, "No, don't do that. You don't know if the fear is gone." And I really thought, wow, why?
Yeah. Yeah. And just, for parents listening, because like I can imagine every hypnotist that's listening to this story is cringing, like we are cringing, because we know the power of suggestion, and we know that the parents are always the first hypnotists. So what the parents say goes straight into the subconscious mind. So basically it's undermining, it could potentially undermine the results that you had. But I hope the girl was, because you said the kids are so sure of themselves, that this girl was so convinced that even that suggestion of her mom.
Yes. She was sure enough. And the week after, her brother came.
Oh.
And a week after that, the mother came, because when it came down to it, the mother had fear of all animals, like the spiders, dogs, you name it. There was fear.
So you could work on an entire zoo.
Yeah. I had a whole family going. Yes. And the fun fact was that mother explained to me, well, her husband, the father, only thought, what are they doing? But he saw this result, so he said, okay, go for it.
Yeah, I've also had that with fathers. Somehow it's the fathers more often than the mothers that are a little bit more skeptical. But
yeah,
sometimes with children especially, the transformation can be so big that nobody can deny it.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
So that little girl, she was playing with the dog of the neighbors that same afternoon, and the father came outside, and he was really amazed and thought, well, we'll see after 1 week. And she was still fearless of dogs.
Wow.
Okay, then it must be true.
Yeah, still that 1 week extra was needed.
Yeah. You needed that, then it must be true. Yeah.
Yeah, wow.
For the working with children, you followed the HypnoKids training, isn't it?
Yes.
How did you like that training?
Well, I thought it was amazing, because it's a lot of tools as well, and because of my 3 sons, it started the thinking process as well. Oh, but I've seen that with my son, and I've seen that, so I could use really being a mother in the sessions, and lots of fantasy. Go with the flow.
Yeah.
And at first I had a little bit of fear. Is this enough? If the kid says no, I'm sure, let's go for it. Then I was thinking, like a therapist, yes, but maybe I shouldn't. Okay, no. So I had to learn to trust the kids as well.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah, and sometimes you can only work 15 minutes with a young child and they are completely tired. Sometimes I think like I'm bringing a plant, so tired.
Yes.
What won't the parents think? What did she do with my child? But then the results can be so tremendous, and then you get a letter like, you helped me get back my little girl, and yeah, that is really amazing.
Yes, it is. I was thinking about it. I had a child who was really busy in his head, and in the training there was a video of a child sitting upward, I don't know what he was doing. And you were talking to him, and then you saw through his physical response that he still was listening to you, but when you saw his behavior, you really thought, no.
Yes,
He is in the room, but he's not there. And I had something similar like this, and I really remembered the video thing. Okay, no.
Yeah, that was
There is
helpful.
smart listening. Go on.
Yeah,
Yeah. Well, that's great.
that's cool.
And it's
So-
really helpful. The videos, also from OMNI in different languages. The first year I really watched them a lot. So see how it's done. See the pro go at it. That's
How the pros do it.
Yeah, you are talking now about the education platform, which is now shifted towards the OMNI Academy. And yeah, you can watch videos in Portuguese, Swiss German, Dutch, English. Yeah.
Polish, maybe?
Yeah, there are a lot of languages. Yes.
Did you watch other languages or just the Dutch and English ones?
Also the German.
Oh, yeah,
I
okay.
can follow as well, but
Yeah.
the Portuguese.
No.
I'm really curious at the Brazilians, but
Yeah, they're doing a great job over
I
there.
need the translation.
I would love to see our Chinese colleagues also.
Oh, yeah,
Well,
but they're not on the platform.
No. I don't think they can broadcast in China. That will be the problem.
oh, yes.
So there's no use for them to do that.
Well, I think
I have still a question. If you look at how you started your practice, because you need to get clients,
oh yeah,
and you need to not only be a therapist, but you need also to be businesslike. And how did you go about it, and what was the point that brought you the clients?
I started out with a local newspaper. Just give them a ring and tell, well, I've got something really special, and I'm starting out hypnotherapy, and like many people, also the misconceptions led to the article, because then you tell them, no, it's not true. There are no zombies. They're really getting involved subconsciously and consciously. And then we get the change. And with that article, it started rolling. And if you get the success, then people will refer to other people. And after that, actually only social media I've used. No advertorials or something, just getting success with the clients.
We see that you are really active, and that's what is needed. We always kind of counsel our students, and usually that's not really necessary, because Ayla says, if you have questions, you can add me. I'm also open for emails, but it's not that we have a lot of work on it. Usually people can find their way very quickly with the material and also with the marketing. Sometimes I have that people have a tough time getting their clients, and then we back them up a little bit, so we help. And I remember one specific case that I said, just have tenacity, then I'm sure it will work. And it took somewhat longer, and then it started also to work. So sometimes it's the right focus. And we have as well in Dutch as in English, the hypnosis community. And that's a place where the general public can find information about hypnosis, but they can also find therapists. But from the OMNI website, we have, of course, this big omnifinder.net, where they can find therapists all over the world, which is awesome. So, and sometimes you see that people follow a training, but they don't update their profile. They don't put a picture. And just think about yourself. How would you feel if you have the choice between somebody who has a nice profile, tells about themselves with a picture, or you have somebody who didn't even took that effort, the things that are free to fill it in. So then clients will not follow. So you have to put some effort in it. And I remember when you started that you really put a lot of effort in it, and I saw it flourish very, very fast. And now, well, you said you are a lot on the internet, but
You're
I
also
see
on the
in the
internet.
family it's likewise. So that's a nice thing. The other nice thing I would like to say is, of course, here we say it's all in the family, but Carla, you know that within OMNI, I wouldn't say we are one big family, because people will think, what's this for strange organization? But we are one big community that's very, very helpful towards each other, and that is great. Do you also have contact with the other trainees?
Yes, I do actually, because the first once a year there's a big congress from OMNI. The first year it wasn't I wasn't sure enough, and then COVID started, of course.
Yeah.
But no, really, I also came in contact with Barbara HypnoKids, Wendy Weber, through the internet. So you really get involved in the OMNI. It's like a community. You get involved with one another, help each other.
Yeah.
Barbara still gives advice when you need it. So
Yeah.
yes, it's really nice.
Yeah. Yeah.
And to get back to the picture, if you have a good picture going, people will come to you only because of your picture. If you have the right expression, or I don't know what it is, but then people really will get in touch with you. So it really works.
You need to express trust, and people can see if it's genuine or not. So we see more in pictures than we think.
Yes.
Yeah, one of our OMNI students once said to me that people that look for you, their subconscious is also looking together, you know. So it's, they may, you know, you look at a website, you look at the prices, obviously, you look at the story, but there's also a part subconsciously that decides, yeah, this is where I should go for or not.
Yes.
I thought that was interesting. That was, I believe that, yeah.
In the start, at the start, I thought, well, let's advertise with quitting to smoke. And then I had a picture of a cigarette or something like that, you know. But actually, people want to see who's behind it.
Yeah.
And then they will contact you, not because of that picture. But I thought it was really safe to
the beginning, yeah.
Do not put my face out there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, that's also, you go through a process yourself, right? So that's nice. Well, I'm very excited to see how your practice will grow. Like, I mean, you're still in the beginning, relatively.
Yes,
right? Like
I am. I hope it will keep on growing and get and well, I've done HypnoKids, HypnoCell. I also did the part of medical to do the
hypnobirthing.
It's not hypnobirthing, but it's
comfort birthing.
Like comfort birthing. And that's so that you can do so much, and that's what makes the job interesting.
Did you also already have some, I call them OMNI babies, because of this program?
Yes, I did.
Okay,
that's cool.
Really cool. Yes. Yes.
Wow. Well, any questions left, or is there anything you would like to add, Carla?
No, basically no. As I said, when you have the training, just start. You have all the tools, you have the information, you've done your research, and you can do it.
Yeah. Well, great. That's great. Yeah, we also believe that. But yeah, that's the scary part, that you start actually doing it, and you did it beautifully. So all the credit to you regarding that. And I had a lot of fun this episode.
Yes, and just to remind the viewers or listeners in the Netherlands, that is, they can find you at Ontspan hypnotherapy.nl in Zaltbommel. So
Yes, bring all your kids to Carla. And we'll put the link also right to the website, so it's easy to find. And well, this was a beautiful episode of HypnoAunt and Carla. Next week we're back with HypnoMum and Ayla. And then we're going to talk about stress.
Oh.
Ever heard about it?
Never, ever.
Yeah. We're going to talk about yeah, a little thing called stress.
Yes.
So see you next week, and Carla will be in touch for sure.
And I will be listening. Thank you.
Great.
Okay, thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye, everybody.